Why does one entrepreneur succeed while another fails? What do we find in this successful entrepreneur? What is the secret ingredient of success? Basically, how do you become a good entrepreneur? That's what many emerging entrepreneurs think. Although there are many models of successful entrepreneurs, it is still very difficult to define the essence of entrepreneurial success. I would like to say that I have this magical ingredient. Then I could share it with everyone. However, I'm afraid the ingredient doesn't exist. However, I looked for it in the small wooded area next to my house, but so far I found only lichens and dandelions. Business success is a combination of several factors. While you have control over some of them, others are out of your reach. Your personality, economic conditions, or industry trends are just some of the static things you can't act on. They just are. You have to accept this. Fortunately, there are many other success factors on which you can act directly. How about 10 tips to become a better entrepreneur and boost your business success? Hard to refuse, right? For those who don't, I also have a great recipe for chopping the apple. Write to me, it will be a pleasure to pass it on to you. So that everyone else can follow me, let's go. Tip 1. Develop your patience. I am in the best position in the world to advise you. I have often seen the negative consequences of impatience. This is true both on a personal and corporate level. In my training courses and conferences, I often explain to entrepreneurs that business development stays in time. This means that the energy and money you put into marketing will not reward you at all in the short term. Therefore, patience is the key to success when you start a business. You need to accept in advance that you need to give time to your business project, put disproportionate energy into it, and that there will be a long time before the business really takes off. It is vital to be aware of this latency period, as it will prevent you from constantly wondering and wasting your energy. Just accept it, roll up your sleeves and get on with it. Tip 2. Learn to fail. The worst enemy of the entrepreneur is pride. Successful entrepreneurs have experienced monumental failures. If you do not accept the failure from the beginning, you should not start the project. Failures have built successful entrepreneurs, giving them knowledge and skills that would not otherwise be possible. We call this a lived experience. Simply think about it, who would you call if you were experiencing terrible suffering? Life is a source of knowledge and wisdom, both in business and in personal life. Some entrepreneurs tell me, it's impossible not to work, my project will be great. When I hear this, it's often a bad sign, because the entrepreneur didn't know the possibility of failure. In this case, I ask the entrepreneur to write down everything that could go wrong in his project and explain to me what it would be like. Admission: sad possibility of failure and experiencing failure are essential steps for success. Tip 3. Give your employees. A business idea has no value. On the other hand, business is really worth something. What is the difference between the two? While what an idea comes to a person's mind, a business is the result of the collaboration of several people. In order for your business idea to come to life and succeed, you will need to bring people together and get their cooperation. Each of these employees does not change anything, you need to allow them to integrate their knowledge and opinions into your project. As a promoter, you will not go anywhere without the knowledge and experience of others. It is a complex system. It needs you to integrate as much knowledge as possible in order to succeed. If you cling to your ideas and deny employees freedom of expression, you will deprive the company of the resources essential to its development. You need to build trust in your employees and be open to anything that can contribute to your business. Tip 4. Talk to your competitors. Although it may seem intuitive, it is essential. You have to understand that your competitors are not your enemies. Instead, they should be your best friends. They work in your industry and want the same thing as you. To satisfy their own customer. Your competitors, like you, have developed the knowledge and philosophy of the industry. This knowledge is one of the most important resources for starting a business. So why not discuss the issue freely? Maintaining a healthy business relationship with your competition not only allows you to regularly monitor the industry, but also build partnerships. This is called cooperation. Whether through a joint venture, a marketing alliance, or an investment in research and development, cooperation benefits both parties. So, don't deprive your company of everything that competition can bring. Tip 5. Learn to open up innovation. To make our lives easier, why reinvent the wheel? This sums up the essence of what open innovation is. It is simply a matter of collecting existing knowledge, rather than starting from scratch. What knowledge would you like to integrate into your business? What knowledge would you like to share? All knowledge is expensive to develop. You can save a lot of cost and failed tests in your business by purchasing innovations that already exist in other companies, organizations, or communities. On the other hand, you can benefit from a developed innovation that remains underused or unused. For example, why not use an existing purchasing platform instead of creating a new network of suppliers? Why not share the file with costs? While the documentation on open innovation is rich, the concept remains simple. It's about sharing. Either free or paid, fair and shared. Tip 6. Constantly redefine your offer. You got the first contract. Congratulations. Although this may lead you to believe that you have an offer that the customer likes, it is not. Your offer may make a customer, or even some customers happy, but is it ideal? Probably not. Successful entrepreneurs are constantly redefining what they offer, whether it's a product or a service. In e-commerce, we call A/B by testing the constant refinement of the offer, content, or publications according to the preferences of the public. This e-commerce principle should apply to your business, regardless of its nature. Your offer must never remain static, it must remain dynamic and respond to market and industry trends. Successful entrepreneurs are in tune with their customers. They are able to adapt even the smallest details of their offer and their communication methods to get an optimal response from their customers. Tip 7. Work less. Start-up contractors do not count their hours. It works tirelessly and sometimes it's too much. Few people will tell you to work less. I do this without shame. It is essential to find a balance between the project and your personal life. If you do not revitalize yourself enough in different areas of your life, your project will take up all the space and you will no longer be effective. It is important to take a step back and keep a steady balance as needed. If the project takes up too much space in your life, you indirectly hinder the success of the project itself. Tip 8. Remember why you are doing all this. They are successful entrepreneurs. Their motivation is to make their own decisions and achieve a goal that they really like. These are the strongest and most effective business motivations. These are directly associated with the success of entrepreneurs. However, everyday life can sometimes distance you from the fundamental reasons why you have engaged in this entrepreneurial endeavor. However, these motivations are your fuel. They give you the energy to keep going when times are tough. So take a break once a day. Ask yourself, why do I do all this? What does life give me? That's it, it's that simple. Tip 9. Do what you love. It goes without saying that, as an entrepreneur, you don't just do what you are passionate about. Of course not. You will need to learn to perform a variety of tasks that will take you out of your comfort zone. That being said, you need to understand in advance that your business will require knowledge and skills that you cannot develop. You have your own personality and you do not have the profile of all trades and professions. Although I am constantly amazed to see entrepreneurs who push their limits and step out of their comfort zone, the fact is that no one can be completely versatile. You will need to learn to delegate and focus on your strengths. The good news is that your strengths are definitely where you have fun. Your natural strengths are the ones that make you vibrate, that make your tasks light and pleasant, and that revitalize you. Tip 10. Be stubborn. Entrepreneurs often accept money from their company. Simply because they have to pay their bills and eat like everyone else. Does it make sense? These are called maintenance contracts. Although it is sometimes necessary to deviate from the company's mission and guidelines, this is a danger of change for your company. Let me explain. By accepting mandates that do not correspond to what you really want to do, it is very likely that you will gradually become an expert in this field, in spite of yourself. You will receive mandates that go beyond your area of interest and strengths. Without realizing it, you will develop a business that does not look like the business plan you expected. We can't always afford to turn down contracts, I agree. However, you will need to learn to develop some firmness in the inside of your business. The farther you go from it, the more energy and resources of the company you will lose, and the less motivation you will feel for your project. Imagine that you accept a food contract and that you are forced to reject a contract that puts pressure on you next week because you have excessive capacity. It would be very sad. The same logic applies to collaborations, marketing alliances, or side projects for your company. There are 3 rules for starting a business. Consistency, consistency, and consistency. Be stubborn and come up with the project that guides you, and stay focused on your ultimate goal. What brand do you want to create? In what field do you want to be recognized? Who do you want to serve? In what direction? What are the colors of your company? A small bonus. Of the hundreds of tips I could give you, there is one that takes precedence over all the others. Learning. Gradually become your own business advisor. Take short notes about your industry, your customers, their attitudes and behaviors. What do you need most to be successful? What's blocking you? What moves you and what helps you overcome all obstacles? Learn to look critically and systematically at your company, your employees, and, above all, yourself. Because the success of a company is totally linked to its promoters, this self-taught ability is essential. So the best advice I can give you is, develop your counseling skills.